All right, welcome in, boys. Take it to the bank, Watkins Glen. As always, I'm Keg here with my NASCAR partner in crime, Coop. No, let's try that again. Here with my NASCAR partner in crime, Coop. Now, Coop, I'm in the mood tonight. I am excited. I'm excited for the weekend. I'm energized. I don't know if I'm going to be like this tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be like this Sunday. But right now, I feel like I could run through a brick wall. How are you doing, my guy?
Just the opposite of you, man.
Oh, come on, Coop. Come on.
Opposite of you, man. I've never seen as much energy in you before, man.
I'm ready to go this weekend, Coop.
Kind of worries me, man.
There's a lot of money to be made this weekend, Coop. Now,
it worries me.
If you don't watch this YouTube channel, which, let's be honest, pretty much the entire world doesn't, but if you manage to tune in this week, what did we do this weekend, Coop? Allow me to tell you. Okay? We were on Majeski at 14-1 in a parlay to cash the truck race. We were on Gibbs at 14-1 in a parlay to cash the Xfinity race. And my guy, my main man, who I wouldn't stop talking to Coop about all week, got the chicken for us. First on stage 1 at plus 650. Then again, the race winner at 15-1. In addition to hitting some top 10s and groups, our guy, Michael McDowell, Coop, gets the chicken for us. And I mean, all that equals another winning week where TSK absolutely destroys the Indy road course. We've destroyed the NASCAR season. And I think we're going to do it again, Coop.
Yeah, I think I would have won more money last week if I bet $1 for every time you said Michael McDowell's name.
I think you would have. I think you would have too. You know what? It worked out for us.
You're incredibly locked into him.
It worked out. Now, I've seen some haters out there, and even the guys that we know that root for us in our Discord sometimes have been surprised with all the NASCAR parlays that you and I have put in this year, because the majority of the time, you know, that's not my motivation. It's not your motivation. I built my bankroll doing this for a living, literally one straight bet at a time. However, parlays aren't a terrible option if you've proven that you can consistently hit them at a high enough rate. And this year, we've been very profitable, cashing tickets on drivers with odds, 5 to 10 times greater than their closing line. And we're getting it done. So I know some people don't like it, but it's working for us this year, Coop.
Yeah, you better thank Joey Logano.
That started everything. Everything.
It did.
All right, takeaways from the Indy road course. Shoot.
Like my biggest takeaway, like I looked at the speed chart for green flag total speed.
Okay.
And I was really blown away.
By?
You want to know what the difference was between first place and 25th place?
Go ahead.
1 second.
Really?
1 second.
Per lap?
Average green run flag speed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
For the entire race.
Okay.
Like, it's never like that close. And I think it just goes to show that, like, their whole point of this new car was to make it equal and make everybody have a chance.
Right.
And they've done that. But the unfortunate piece that they've done with that is you can't fucking pass. Because you can't get no more speed than the guy in front of you.
I'll tell you, man, they're riding around in the top 10 and they're not moving at all.
No. So I think, they're not going to have this race next year, Indy. But if they do, like, I don't know, like, they can't go back to how it was before because turn number one was just an absolute joke. But I think they overcorrected too much because the cars just got so far spread out because you were not going through one turn but two turns, and like you had no chance, to really
Right.
pass, and no chance to even go for the lead, unless you were the top four.
Right.
But like, it was just so far spread out, and they got to find a happy median between the two. Uh, Other than that, I really don't have much to say about the race.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with you. Quickly, welcome to the boys in the chat. Hit the like button, please. Smash the like button. The one takeaway that I had, just like overall, when it comes to road courses, I saw a lot of people that bet on NASCAR recreationally on like social media complaining about the stage break, and that defies logic to me. Stage breaks, and when you think about stage breaks and where people would come off pit road, which would be an unknown, in order to make money consistently in this sport, you have to take out as many unknowns out of the equation as you possibly can in order to help you make the best educated guess, right? No stage breaks equals a much easier race to figure out which cars will be up front at the end. Now, I think it's a net positive. We might not get as many great numbers, albeit we did get McDowell last week at a great number because he was 30-1 going into the race, basically. And that's probably not going to happen often. And we might make less money, but I think we will make money more consistently with no stage breaks. Where are you at with the no stage breaks?
Are you talking like for every race or just the road courses?
Well, I right now I'm just talking about road courses because that's all we have. Why? What do you think at large?
Like I'm fine with it for the road courses. I don't know if I would like it for the non-road courses though.
Why? Because it takes out the piece of us getting on
Well,
people.
there's going to be more cautions, all right. But I also see a scenario to where, like, there would be a racer here or there, or a race here or there, where there's going to be halfway through the third stage, and they only have 2 or 3 drivers on the board.
Yeah.
Because they tend to do that.
Yeah.
And then the other piece to it is, like, I would be more apt to enjoy it if they did it right, because I think it would give us a great opportunity to load up on some longer numbers near the end of the race if they were still live. Kind of like what happened when we hit Busch and Truex at like 66 just to cover us with Buescher.
Right.
Like I can see that happening, but like I don't know. I get what you're saying, and I totally agree with what you're saying. But I'd have to see a first couple races to see what happens and how the books react to it and things to that nature. Because, like, I just think they're going to, like hit it, take it real quick, down, 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 down.
Right. Yeah, I don't really disagree with that. And I think you're probably right. I think it would take out a large part of the edge that you and I have in live betting NASCAR on ovals, but I do kind of like it for road courses.
Like if they were in that scenario, we would have probably never hit an 80-1 Chris Buescher.
True. I agree with that for sure. Because he would have never been there.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you there. But don't you think it's suited for road courses? Like, it just feels right for road courses.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of talk about doing it for every race. It's like you can do it for road courses. Why can't you do it for the other races?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't think I would like that. I don't think I would like that.
Because there's no, I mean, like it's not like anything special they're doing. Like they just let them continue to go on. Like why
Yeah,
can't you do that at a mile and a half?
but you know what though? The one piece in there is that I think we would see more cautions on an oval
Oh yeah,
and not on a road course, which I think would still give us a little bit of ability for like
but
strategy.
like what would be interesting though is like at Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, like the racing's not that great until you get down to like 10 laps left in the stage. Okay.
Right.
And then they're like really fighting to get those up, to get those stage points and stuff. Well, if they kept running it without it, like after the stage ended, would they like settle down and go back to like, the boring two wide, one wide, follow each other around?
Right.
That would be kind of interesting.
All right.
So
Let's
I do think though if they did it, it would bring a lot more gas mileage races into play. A lot more strategy from that aspect.
yeah, that makes sense. That
And it
makes
would
sense.
also benefit tire wear because they wouldn't be as apt to, let's say, hey, we're going to split this stage. They're going to continue on,
Right.
until they absolutely have to pit.
That's true. That's true too. Yeah. Tire wear would that I mean, if Goodyear could make a
Right.
tire that actually
because
falls
because
off.
because now they say, all right, we're just going to split the stage up. Well,
Right.
if there's no pit, you know,
You
you
don't
got to
have that.
play it. You got to play it differently.
Right. Right.
So, like, I do kind of like that from the tire wear perspective.
In terms of track comp, like the one thing that stood out to you and I earlier in the week was speed, right? It's kind of I think that this is kind of its own monster. I know that there are no two road courses that are the same, but you really need power under the hood to compete at Watkins Glen, right? So
Yeah.
my question for you is how much are you taking from what you saw last weekend at IRC? Because I think that there are three cars after the last 2 years in this next gen car you could set your watch to that they are going to run in the top seven, and that's McDowell, Suarez, and Reddick for sure. They're the most consistent, right? But after that, it opens up into the discussion that you and I will have in a few minutes. But that said, as a generality, how much are you taking from last weekend and applying that to Watkins Glen?
Well, I can't take a lot, to be honest with you,
Wow.
because like if you go back and you look at last year's Watkins Glen race and last year's Indy race, like the results were different. Like the same drivers didn't finish in the top 10. The same drivers didn't have top 10 green speed. I mean,
Right.
green flag speed, you know? So, like, I know a lot of people are looking at it from that perspective, but like, I think you've got to play it with a little bit of different twist. And, like, you got to be thinking outside the box a little bit.
Do you think that lends itself to the fact that last weekend was maybe more finesse, where this weekend will be more power?
Could be, could be. We'll just have to wait and see. I guess, you were asking about a takeaway, like from the race last week. I guess, like from a racing and cars and teams perspective, I guess, like what happened to Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota in general. Um,
Last weekend?
yeah, they did not look nearly as good as what they looked at the Chicago Road Course in Sonoma.
They didn't.
So,
They didn't.
like, Marty and Chris Bell, they were just there, never contenders or anything like that. So,
Yep.
Reddick said he didn't have good car at the beginning, but it got better as the race went on, but he didn't have the winning car. And
Right.
then, Denny was just a disappointment the whole entire weekend based upon what we saw from the last
I know.
2 road courses or street courses, whatever you want to call them. So that would have been another takeaway for me. But
But
because
that
like
one,
again, like that's what you said. Like what are you taking away? Like, is it going to be the same race? No, it's not going to be the same race because like what happens if they show up?
listen. Not only am I with you, but I know a lot of people are going to watch last weekend and be like, I'm not going anywhere near Gibbs this weekend. But the more I think about this week, Coop, let's start here. Let's start with HMS before we go through the drivers. Okay, the last 4 races on this track in a 5-year span because of COVID, they've been won by Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. Elliott won in 2018 and 2019. Larson won in 2021 and 2022. Now, last week, we didn't talk a ton about HMS, right? We didn't think that they would have winning cars at Indy, and they didn't. Fast forward 1 week, and this race, it's a harder race to figure because now you have to take Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott very seriously this week. Historically, you've had to take Chase Elliott serious on every road course, basically, right? But this has been a very weird year for Elliott. In part, he broke his leg and missed a lot of time, but also because the performance of his car just has not been there all year long. But what did Chase Elliott do last week? Quietly, a top 5 finish. I mean, a top 5 car. Probably finished. He finished second, right, behind McDowell. So for me, I think HMS is going to be a player this week. Even cars like Byron and Bowman, I think, can show up and make some noise, despite the fact that they haven't been very good here in the past either. So where are you at with Hendrick this week?
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned like they're strong here. Like they know something here. They know the setup. They know how to run the track or the course. There's something that they have because they're
Right.
good every year here. So they translated it from the old car to the new car. All right. And, I expect them to be good again here. And I think, you look at the other thing that kind of sticks out to me is, they have the 17 car in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. All right. They can only run 5 races with it.
Right.
They chose this race as one of them.
Right.
All right. Like they chose this race because they knew that 1, they could do good with it. And 2, even though it's a different car, maybe they learned something from running that car, that'll help them on Sunday. So, I look for them to be very competitive, very strong. And wouldn't surprise me if one of them walks away with the winner's circle. I think, like we were talking, like, how's this week different than last week? Like, I think William Byron will be a top 10 car, if not better. It wouldn't surprise me if he won either.
I agree.
So, I think that's one driver. I mean, he went from dead last week and finished like 15th, 14th, somewhere in that ballpark.
Right.
Like, how many other cars were able to do that? Not many.
Maybe Ty Gibbs.
Again, he didn't pass the greatest, the best of the best.
No, he only got up
all right.
14th.
Yeah, but he was still able to do it. So
Right.
it says a lot to me. So keep your eye on William Byron.
Bowman ran around in the top 10 all day, had a solid finish.
Yeah, he did. And I think, he's running laps here tomorrow because this traditionally isn't one of his better road courses. I think his best finish is 14th. So, running the Xfinity car should help him. But he's going to be strong. He'll be good.
I'm with you. All right, so that's HMS. I'm in lockstep.
So let me ask you this question now.
Okay.
The odds on Elliott's stupid. 275, 300, 330.
Stupid. Yeah. Crazy.
If he finishes 5th or 6th last week, what are the odds versus second?
4-1, 450. I don't think they would have been dramatically better.
Would he still be the favorite?
I think it would be close. It would be close. Larson would be a lot closer to being the favorite, I think, for sure. But I mean, listen, he had the best. Even like last year when Larson won that race, he didn't have the best car. He bumped Elliott out of the way. Elliott had the nuts in that race, stone cold. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that if you like Kyle Larson, you have to like Chase Elliott more because he's better. He's just better on road courses. But I agree with you. His price is just, it's absurd, that price. But this is what we saw when he was winning every single road course every year. Like this is what. So yeah, they're making you pay a premium, no doubt. Let's talk about Gibbs because for me, this is the conundrum of the weekend. We were high on Denny Hamlin and Chris Bell last weekend. We thought that they would be that they would have winning caliber cars. I was very high on Bell. You were very high on Denny. They didn't do anything, right? Now, on Monday or Tuesday, you and I were talking, and I said that you and I are very good, obviously, at making money in the sport. We know that. It's why I could wake up at noon every day. However, this week feels like a race where we can get totally blindsided. And you and I talked about that earlier in the week. I said that to you, and you agreed because you can't back Gibbs and Hendrick, I don't think, in this race. You're at least going to have to choose one path going down in terms of like race theory. You're going to back Gibbs or I think you're going to back Hendrick, right? Now, your snap reaction is to back Hendrick because of what Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott have done the last 5 years here, right? But when you think of Watkins Glen, you think of speed. And when you think about Gibbs this year, there might not be two faster cars on the track than Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex, okay? And this race feels like it gives you an ultimatum from the jump. And if you look historically, when Kyle Larson won Sonoma, he was excellent at Watkins Glen. Marty pillar to posted, crushed Sonoma. It would not shock me if he had the stone nuts this weekend. Like I the more the week goes on, like the more I'm talking myself into backing Gibbs again. Like I think it could be a mistake for you and I to jump off them. But understanding that you have to take Hendrick seriously, obviously. So like what do you think about Gibbs this week?
I don't disagree with anything you said. I wasn't very high on Marty last week. But I don't have the same conviction that he wasn't going to be like the stone cold nuts that I do this week. You know, like it wouldn't surprise me to what you said. It happens. Whereas last week, you know, I didn't think, you know, he had a chance whatsoever, and he didn't do that great. He finished in the top 10, but was never a threat. But this week, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Denny and Bell, I don't know what to think. You know, I don't know. I have no idea. And then to be kind of honest with you, like if Ty Gibbs never got spun, Ty Gibbs might have finished in front of Marty and Bell.
100%. I agree. Yeah, definitely.
You know? So, you know, like all four of them to me are all equal. You know, and I don't know which way to go.
All four Gibbs cars are equal?
Yeah. Like okay. I think Ty Gibbs is just as good as Marty and Bell on this format. You know, based upon what he showed, you know, last week, you know, because like I said, like him and Byron were really the only cars that drove through and passed a lot of cars.
Right.
The only thing with Gibbs and, you know, Byron too, they didn't pass the elite cars. So we really don't know, you know, if they're a top 5 car or if they're like a 6th through 10th place car. So, the only saving grace on 2 out of the 4 is the numbers.
Right.
Like you can play them and get them at good numbers. Marty, you can't. Bell's kind of in the middle. But like if you ask me like which one I felt was going to do the best, I don't know. Like I can make cases for all 4 of them.
I don't like to hear. I'm hearing I don't know a lot today. I don't like this version of Coop. I don't like this.
It's up in the air. It's a toss up, man. Like I honestly, I think you run this race 10 times, and you'll probably get different results from them every time.
Yeah. So all right, going down the odds board, Elliott's 375 right now at Bet365. Odds on favorite. I mean, listen, that's expensive considering everything you and I just spoke about. I can't back him at that price. Neither can you. Now, if you want to sell me on the fact that we need to bet him and tie him to something to get the number up, okay, I could see that based on how good he is.
Like, Chase Elliott wins the poll. What's his number going to be? 150?
No. Probably 250, 225.
So winning the poll's worth a quarter to him for the books?
A quarter? He's 375 right now at Bet365. That's $1.
There's other books. He's 275 at other books. 300.
Oh, well, I'm looking at Bet365. So I would say that number probably goes down to like 250, 225, somewhere around there. Yeah. And
then, what is it? Even money by 10?
If Gibbs comes off the trailer and Marty's fucking fast and they got the nuts, Marty's going to be 4-1.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
yeah, they're definitely going to move lines, no doubt. I don't know, Coop. I'm not against. Listen, you and I have been good enough this year where we could get 15-1 on Chase Elliott, and it's going to be there on Sunday. It's just going to be a matter of is it going to win or not. So I'm not really concerned. Like I know we can get the price up. Do you think we have to have them in our roster of drivers because of the respect for these two guys, him and Larson, at this course?
Yeah, I mean, you either bet him at 375 with a parlay, or you bet him at 175 with a parlay.
Right,
those are your 2 options.
Right,
you're not going to get a 500 or 600, and if it's 500 or 600, you probably don't want to bet him.
Yeah. All right, that's Elliott. Now, the reason why he's plus 375 at Bet365 is because Kyle Larson is 450, but you can get him at 650, depending on where you shop, and again, like Kyle Larson's kind of been MIA lately, and you always call it the Hendrick summer vacation. But this price point is tough to back unless you think he's going to be a top 3 car and have a real chance to win. Otherwise, you can't bet this at 6.5-1.
I guess the driver that I've kind of like fell off of throughout the week is Larson.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, like
current form.
That I guess. Plus, like his road courses, like they haven't been phenomenal.
What did he do last week? Where did he end up finishing last week?
Well, he had the issue at the beginning of the race where he lost a couple spots. And, he still finished in the top 10. But, he probably had a 5th, 6th, someplace car.
So can you see yourself not betting him pre-race?
Yes. Yeah. I would. Okay. If you told me I had to bet Larson or Elliott, I would bet Elliott.
I totally agree. But if you already had Elliott in your back pocket, and I said you got to bet Larson or Marty, who are you going to bet?
Marty.
Let's go, Coop. I feel it. You know when you feel it? I kind of feel everybody's going to pass on them this week, and they're going to be there this weekend, man. I feel it. All right, after Larson, Tyler Reddick currently sits at 7-1 at Bet365. You can get him at 10-1 at Superbook. Look, I mean, like I said earlier, when you think of the three most reliable next-gen cars on a road course, this kid is one of the three guys you're going to talk about, right? Now, he hasn't won here at the Cup level, but he does have 2 top 10 finishes in the 2 races that he's had at Watkins Glen. So my question is, like, does Reddick rebound from a pedestrian 4th place at the Indy Road Course last week? Or do you think he runs around in the top 5 all day but doesn't get over the hump? I'm kind of in between, man. I could see him running 5th all day, and I could see him rebounding and coming strong. Where are you at?
What 3 or 4 drivers have the most pressure on themselves through this race?
Suarez, right?
Right.
Who else is on? I would assume you're talking about guys on the bubble, right?
Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott needs to win, or he's not going to make the playoffs, right? Who else?
I think after those 2, Tyler Reddick has the most pressure on to win this race.
Why?
Because he's got to protect Bubba.
Oh, I didn't.
Bubba's in 16th place.
I didn't even think about that. But do you think that kid's going to feel the pressure of having to do something for another guy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because if they get a new winner, Bubba's out of the playoffs going into the Daytona.
Right.
And I think, there's a lot of pressure on that to protect him. Just like there's a lot of pressure on Elliott and a lot of pressure on Suarez to win. Like there's a lot of pressure on Reddick to keep them from winning.
So where are you at?
Like I think Reddick's going to do better, and like if you can get him at 8, 9, 10-1.
What's better? He finished 4th last week.
Right. Like I don't think, like, I would bet Tyler Reddick before Kyle Larson. I would bet Tyler Reddick before Martin Truex.
I mean, I can't argue with that. The kid's a stud. I can't really argue with that. So, I mean, yeah.
And I mean, like you're getting a very good number on a driver who many said was the new king of road courses.
Right. And Toyota kind of missed the mark last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
He still finished 4th. So like if they really show up, then I'm with you. I mean, he should be your odds-on favorite if they really show up.
Now, he I think he finished 7th or 8th here last year. Didn't have great performance considering, what he was coming off of, so on and so forth. But if speed means anything, I think that car is faster than the car he was in last year.
I'm with you. After Reddick, Marty also 7-1 at Bet365, but shop around obviously for the best available. Like we just spoke about, man. It's a tough call because Gibbs could no show again. They were lost all year last year on road courses, but it looked like they found something, but they were MIA. But man, like, what do you do, Coop? Do you wait? Do you wait to see if they're fast off the truck? Oh, we might have lost. Oh, he's back. Do you wait to see if Gibbs is fast off the truck and just take a worse number?
Can HMS and Gibbs both be fast off the truck?
I think so, yeah. They could be.
Right, but like that's 8 drivers.
Yeah, right. So you're saying like how bad can the odds get, you're saying? if they're all strong.
Right.
Yeah. But we do know that the first number that's going to move is Marty. Right? I mean, he's been the best car this year.
Tyler Reddick before him.
Oh, okay. Maybe Reddick because of the format.
Right.
But like, Marty's going to move quick for sure.
I mean, Bell and Hamlin, I mean, like Bell, what? The 7-1, 6-1?
Oh, if they were like really, I mean, Chris Bell 14-1. I would think maybe like 9 or 10 if Gibbs and HMS. Yeah, probably.
I don't know about that, man, because
think about it. Like if all 4 Hendrick cars are strong, right, and all 4 Gibbs cars are strong, then probably 5 guys are going to move.
But all of them aren't going to be strong. Maybe 5 of them are of the 8, but not all of them are.
I guess. What did he close at last week? Do you remember?
Who?
Chris Bell.
I think it's like 12-14, somewhere in that ballpark.
And he was pretty fast too.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think that the number will move dramatically on Chris Bell. I think the number,
if he gets the pole, it'll be 6-1.
Oh, well, I mean, like, yeah, there's a difference between being strong and looking like you have the stone nuts on the pole. I mean, like, yeah.
But in reality, of those 8 cars, all right, if we're going qualifying, all right, and you can pick Gibbs or you can pick HMS as a group, 4 versus 4.
Who qualifies better?
Yeah, which ones?
Gibbs.
All right, I'm taking HMS.
Really?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, like, on the
would you be surprised if Elliott, Larson, and Byron all did not finish? All were above the first Gibbs car.
Would I be surprised? No, but it wouldn't surprise me either if Reddick, Marty, and Bell.
Reddick's not a Gibbs car.
Well, but he's a Toyota. It wouldn't shock me if
now you're throwing Reddick in there.
All right. It wouldn't shock me if Marty and Bell were in the first 2 rows either. It would shock you?
I think it would, because like I don't think they qualified
so much better than Hendrick, though.
What did they qualify at Sonoma?
Not better. I could check, but definitely not better.
So they haven't been better. Well,
I'm talking about on the year. You're talking about on road courses, right?
Right. That's what we're racing. We're racing a road course.
All right, Coop. No, but to answer your question, no, it wouldn't shock me if Larson, Elliott, and Byron were in the first 6 spots. That would.
I feel confident in saying that Elliott, Larson, and Byron will start. All 3 of them will start better
than any Gibbs car.
Than at least 3 Gibbs cars.
All right.
All 3 of them.
I'll bet you $1. I'll bet you $1 on that.
One of them might sneak in there.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't. It's hard to argue. I mean, they've won the last 4 here, so I can't argue with you. But like you and I.
So then, I guess we're kind of tying this back into the qualifying piece, because the qualifying piece is going to set basically the odds, because you're not going to get much out of practice.
Right.
All right, so it's really going to be the qualifying piece.
Have you looked at the groups?
Yeah, they were pretty even for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Elliott, Byron, and Bowman are together in Group A. Reddick's in there, Denny's in there, Ty Gibbs is in there, and those are the best. Those would be the best cars in there. Everybody else is in Group B.
But I don't know. I think
I'll tell you what. Based off these qualifying groups, there's a really good shot that Buescher, Suarez, Bell, Marty, and Larson are going to be are going to transfer over. Andy, Lally, Almirola, Haley, Priest, LaJoy, Logano, Busch, Dinger, Bubba, Chastain, who's fucking MIA. I don't even know if Ross Chastain was on the track last week. Chase Briscoe, Blaney, they're gonna definitely transfer over.
You don't think Kyle Busch and AJ Allmendinger can be in the top 5?
I do think KB could, based on the speed that he's had this year. Dinger has qualified in the top 10 at this track, I think, like the last dozen times.
This is his better road course.
Yeah, I saw the stat. He's qualified inside the top 10 almost every time he's been here on the Cup level. But
and you can't count Briscoe out.
He hasn't looked great, Dinger. He hasn't looked
can't
great.
Count Briscoe out.
No, but I mean, I guess you can't count Briscoe out. But like going back to Dinger, down year for Kaulig racing for sure.
Yeah, but like I don't think it's a lock that those 5 drivers transfer into the top 5.
I think there's a good chance that at least three of the 5 do. Don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe, we've gone from 5 to 3 now.
Maybe even 4.
I'll give you 3.
But I'm with you on KB. And Dinger, historically, he qualifies in the top 10 every year here. So
Briscoe can get there.
Yeah, Hendrick's in there.
Hendrick can get yeah.
What did I say to you? I wrote you the most ridiculous message this week. I said, I'm betting Penske to win the race at 14-1. And you were like, did you hit your head, bro? I'm like, listen, man. Logano,
at least I didn't respond back. We're ending this friendship.
That's true. That's true. That's true. All right. Back to the odds. Where are we? Suarez 10-1. Now, I did the spaces last night. Adam was asking me about Daniel Suarez, and I was kind of in between. Like, part of me thinks Suarez, he's one of the best cars on the track at road courses the last 2 years. I know that. And I think you have to take him seriously. And when I was talking to him, I said, like, I think he could run around in 3rd or 4th all day, but I'm not sure if he puts together an entire race to win it. He might have had the fastest car last week, or at least maybe the second fastest. Right now, I'm kind of somewhere in between. Like, and you bring up the piece that he really needs a win. I don't know. Like, where are you on Suarez? Do you think like he's a top 5, top 10 matchup guy, or do you want him in the outright market? Well, Coop walked away. All right. Well, I'm here. At least you got me, boys. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. The deeper the week has gotten, the more that I'm kind of thinking about Daniel Suarez. I thought I would have him to make the top 5 this week. I thought I'd have him to make the top 10 this week. I'd probably look to back him in matchups because he was fast last week and he's fast on every road course, but he never really puts it all together. How often has Daniel Suarez won the last 2 years on road courses? Once, maybe?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, bud. Where are you at with Suarez? You think he's a
So why do you like Truex this week? Why do you like Hamlin this week?
because of speed?
All right. Why else?
Why else do I like them?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really the speed.
No, it's not.
What?
That's just part of it.
What's the? Well, tell me why I like
They've
them.
run well here, right?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. So Daniel Suarez has finished in the top 5 3 out of 5 times here. Daniel
Yes.
Suarez has speed. So you need to like Daniel Suarez.
Well, listen, I'm not saying that I don't like him. I'm not saying that, right? I'm simply saying, do you think that he puts the race? Do you think he puts it all together and can actually get by an Elliott or a Reddick? That's what I'm saying.
Not only that. All right. Like you used a comparison earlier. Okay. You said, well, Larson done well here, and then he won at Sonoma. I mean, he won at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, he won at Sonoma. He
did Sonoma well, and then he won at Glen. You said,
right.
Well, what if Marty can do that?
Right.
Well, fucking Suarez won Sonoma last year.
I know.
Danny's going to be tough.
Tough. Define tough, though. Tough, top like we got to back him at 10 to 1?
Top 3 car.
But my problem is the price, Coop. The price is a little crazy. Like, I was all for backing Daniel Suarez when he was 18 to 1, 20 to 1. He's 10 to 1 at Bet365 right now.
You're not betting him at 10 to 1. You're going to get him at like 25 or 30.
All right, but you're starting at 10, so it still matters a little bit. But I'm with you. Like, he finished in the top 5 last year. Now in 2021 and 2019,
you started out the show. You said there were 3 drivers that have been really good over the last year and a half at road courses, right?
Yes.
Tyler Reddick, Michael McDowell, and who was the other one?
Daniel Suarez.
Thank you.
All right. What do you think about KB? Sits at around 12 to 1, 14 to 1. Listen, it's been a tough stretch for our guy, Coop. But he does have very solid track history here. And I do think, barring volatility, like, one thing that he's had all year has been speed. He's been capable of being fast, but he's been god awful lately. He's been on the wrong end of some volatility. I think that he could be a player. It would not shock me if he was in the top 5 on Sunday. Where are you at with him?
Yeah, I think he's one of those difference makers from last week to this week, who people are just going to, push under the rug and not really give him much attention and not really think much about him. All right. And they're going to talk themselves into that, because they're going to say, oh, well, he's in the Carlo car in the Xfinity race, they're already sweeping him under the rug there, and I think there's more reason to sweep him under the rug in the Xfinity race than what there is the Cup race. All right. The guy has finished in the top 10, 13 out of 17 times here. He's good here. He has the best track history here. He might not have the wins, all right, that some of the others have here, but he's very, very, very consistent. He might not have that top car, all right, like a McDowell, an Elliott, a Suarez, a couple other Reddick, but like he'll finish in the top 10 as long as the car holds up.
So I agree with all of that. And I think that we have to look for him in the props market. Are you backing him? Pre-race? Like, is he one of your outrights that you're considering getting on pre-race?
Would you rather bet Suarez at 10 to 1 or Kyle Busch at 12 to 14 to 1?
I'd rather bet Suarez.
All right, there you go. That's the answer.
All right. After that, my guy Mike McDowell, who got it done for us last week, 14-1. Listen, I think Michael McDowell could win this race. Here's my issue. When you think of Michael McDowell, you don't think of speed, you think of finesse. I think that you can count on him in matchups, the top 10 market, the top 5 market. And to be honest, I'm not saying that he can't win or that I won't bet him. But my concern here is what wins races at Watkins Glen. So, I assume that you're high on Michael McDowell. 2 things I don't like. 1, I don't think of speed when I think of him. 2, last week he was 30-1, and this week he is 14-1. Do I think that the move is warranted? I do. I do think the move is warranted. That said, do you think he could win the race?
Yeah, I think he can win the race. But I mean, I kind of agree with everything that you said. But then, the other part of me says, if Buescher can go back-to-back, McDowell can go back-to-back. So it's a tough call. I would bet him before I would bet Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I would too, for sure. No doubt.
That's tough, man.
It's tough.
Because you can't bet everybody.
Right.
And I think he might be on the outside looking in.
In terms of who you're going to target in the outright market going into the race?
Right.
It is tough. God. And you know what sucks, Coop? We're not going to get 15-1 this week live.
No. You're not. So you either bet him now or you bet him at 8-1.
Where do you think he qualifies? Comfortably in the top 10?
I don't know who's in his group.
He is in the group with Elliott, Reddick, Byron, Bowman, Denny, Ty Gibbs. He's in a tough group.
Yeah, I can see him qualifying, being the 6th car. But I could also see him being the 3rd car in that group.
Yeah, I agree. One guy that you and I did not target last week in the outright market, but we were able to actually, I don't think we want to bet on him. I might have had him in a matchup. Chris Buescher, 16-1 right now. I'm higher on Buescher than I was last week, this week, because speed is going to matter. And current form says that Chris Buescher is fucking fast right now. He's fast. Now, he was 10th in speed last week. He finished 11th, but he was very fast here last year. Very good. His form's great. I think that you have to back him in props, definitely. But I also think, you have to at least consider him, maybe, especially with what you and I do and the price that we would get on him. Where are you with Buescher? Are you higher on him this week than last?
Definitely. I agree with everything you just said.
All right. Are you going to bet him?
I don't know. It's a lot of drivers, man.
I do my part. You do your. You're not doing your part right now. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know. You'll find out in 20 minutes, I guess.
God, there are so many drivers that could win this race. Fucking hell. It's
But
stressful.
the thing is, there are so many drivers that could win this race, but once qualifying and practice is done, there's probably 4 or 5.
Right. And the numbers are going to be gross. I think I'm going to swing away. Sorry.
I would bet William Byron before Buescher, though.
Ooh, that's close. I'm with you. I think that Willie B is going to be good because I think Hendrick's going to be good. I think they're going to be fast. I mean, like when you look at his track history, though, total no show.
Mm-hmm.
Total no show. All right, that's Buescher. We spoke about Denny. Real quick, just going through. We spoke about Byron, right? What about where are you at on Bowman? He's got the best price, 40-1. What did you say to me about his crew chief earlier in the week?
He has Michael McDowell's old crew chief.
Right. What do you think? I mean, he ran better than I thought he would last week, for sure.
I just don't see him beating the other 3 HMS cars.
Okay. Well, I mean, then that kind of sums it up right there.
I think his Xfinity car is going to be better than his Cup car.
I think his Xfinity car is going to be better than his. Oh yeah, for sure. He's going to have a winning caliber car on tomorrow, no doubt. It's him or Ty Gibbs for me. I mean, or it's nobody in that race. Anybody else further down the leader, the odds board that you see that could be worth a long shot taste?
No.
Me either. All right. So here's the issue. Normally you and I hop into the props market right now. But before we do that, we got to figure out what we're going to do in the outright market, because one of the 2 pieces that I'm going to tie this race to is happening in the next half hour. So you and I got to lock in.
Well, what's the best number on this person?
Well, it really all depends on what the best whatever the best number on the driver is that we're going to bet, because that's going to matter more.
What's the best number you've seen on this person?
I think I saw a -220 on her to win by knockout. Person is a good adjective for her, because I think it's debatable. But yeah, I think I saw a -220 Pacheco by knockout, but I'm going to bet the sub prop straight, because I'm going to back myself up just in case it goes down. I'll readjust and we'll do it all over again tomorrow. There is no world where she does not win this fight, probably in the first round, but it could go slightly longer, either by knockout or by sub. But I think she's knocked this girl out twice already in the first round. So I'm going to go with the KO, and that's what I'm
Why
going to
are they fighting for a third time?
It's PFL. They kind of have no choice. It's like a playoff bracket. So whoever you're up against, you're up against. So she's going to commit murder again. That's what's going to
So
happen.
this wasn't like a sign fight. This is just happened because of the bracket.
Right. I think it's because of the bracket. Yeah, I say Pacheco, Corey. Yeah, not Pacheco. I say Pacheco. Playoffs have seeding, right? All right. So, like an example, Coop, like McDowell's 14-1 over at BR, and
right. But like, what sucks is like you can get this check at 175 on FanDuel.
Yeah, but you can't parlay. I know. Yeah, I know. You're preaching to the choir. I know. Yeah, minus 220.
What book is that?
That's Bet Rivers, but you might get a slightly better number at Bet 365. But again, the number on the driver is going to matter more. So what I'm going to do for the people that are watching, any outright that I bet this weekend, I'm going to bet a half. I'm going to bet each driver for a unit, but I'm going to split it up. I'm going to bet a half a unit on her to win by knockout and the driver, and I'm going to bet a half a unit on her to win by knockout, Erin Blanchfield next weekend in the UFC, and the driver. So I'll have a unit on them combined. This is what I did last weekend. We hit every race at 14-1 or higher. So this is what I'm going to continue to do because we're blowing the doors off this season. We're up 113 units in 7 months. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to split the half unit with her by knockout and the driver, her by knockout, and Erin Blanchfield next weekend, who will win, and a driver.
Dude, she's minus 350 on DraftKings.
DK, what for KO?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's minus 220 there. Let me see what Bet365 has. They have you can't even bet that. It's mine. You're gonna have to do it at BR.
Minus 250 on MGM.
That's not bad if the number on the driver is better. I mean, honestly, I think all the good numbers are at BR anyway. A lot of them. Marty's 9. Oh no, that's qualifying. Marty 750, Larson 650, Reddick 850. All these numbers seem to be better at BR this week. So what is it with Elliott as a starting point? 10-1 with Elliott, Erin Blanchfield, and Pacheco. 6-1 with just Pacheco. So what would that make?
Minus 220 at Caesars.
That's what I have at BR too. But the problem is that the numbers, the numbers on the cars are brutal, aren't they? Actually, I don't have Caesars up. Let me get Caesars up. I got all the other ones up. Signed. Is the next fight Pacheco, or do we have one more fight? Oh, good. We still have one more. Thank you, Y2J. Good stuff. We will get into all the props, boys, but I want to lock this in first.
So Reddick is 1136, and Suarez is 1500.
With just Pacheco.
Right.
13, you said?
15.
I mean, Reddick was what?
11 something.
Okay, 12. He's 1287 at BR with just Pacheco. 1287. And Suarez is 1650.
I think before you move on, you need to figure out what drivers.
That's what I'm trying to say, Coop. So, like, I think we have to be on
Before
Elliott.
you even look at numbers, you need to lock into the drivers.
So I think we have to be on Elliott, right?
Right.
Okay.
Elliott, Reddick, and Suarez.
I agree on Reddick. I'll bet Suarez too.
You don't bet him. You don't want to. Don't bet him.
Listen, bro, don't start with me, okay? Don't start with me. If this week Daniel Suarez was my Michael McDowell last week, so be it. All right, I'll back Suarez this week. The numbers that I'm going to get are I could bet 10 drivers, so it doesn't matter. All right, who else? I'm betting Marty. Actually, do I wait until we see practice and qualifying? If Marty qualifies in the top 5, what do you think his price is?
I don't think it moves. If he's like 5th.
What time is practice tomorrow on qualifying?
12:30.
So what time? So the odds aren't going to come back up probably. The UFC card starts at 6. They're probably not going to be back up before that card starts.
Not before it starts, probably 7, 8, maybe. You might find a book that has it up, but
yeah, and
I think the vast majority are going to be 7 or 8.
All right, let's put Marty aside. What about McDowell? Do you think we got to back him? Put him aside?
Mm-hmm.
And wait until the race? So basically, we're saying if we're going to get on McDowell.
Just put him to the side for right now.
All right. Go ahead. What about Denny and Bell? You put them to the side?
Bell, yes.
Denny's number's 20-1. I mean, it's not going to take much to get on him. So I'm with you there.
I don't know. I mean, you got to ask yourself the question. All right. Can Denny, Byron, and Ty Gibbs really win this race? Or are you just betting a number?
I think it.
No. Can they win the race? No, I thinks, no, I probablys. Or are you just betting a number?
No, like I wouldn't necessarily back them because of the number.
Let me ask you this. I think this is what you got to ask yourself. Do you want to bet McDowell, Bell, and Bush? Or do you want to bet Gibbs, Hamlin, or Byron?
Bell, McDowell, and Bush, or Byron, Denny, and Gibbs. I think I'd rather swap Chris Bell out and put Will Byron in and back McDowell, Byron, and Bush before I would back probably Denny, Bell, and Gibbs. But if they bring speed, they're going to be a motherfucker. Marty, Denny.
But if they don't?
If they're dead. If they don't, they're dead. Yeah, they're dead. Deader than dead. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like, I think you got to have Byron because I think Byron's going to bring speed.
But but why not Larson? Like, why do you?
I'm not betting 84 drivers like you.
No, listen. But what I'm saying is, why do you feel more confident that he's going to bring speed than Kyle Larson? That's my question.
How many times has Willie B started on the pole this year?
More than twice.
And more than Kyle Larson.
Yes.
That's why. The other thing, too, all right, if he can qualify well, okay?
Yeah.
And he can stay up in that top 1, 2, 3, 4 place, depending upon how strung out those 1, 2, 3, and 4 get.
Yeah.
He's probably going to have the best pit team of the 4.
That's a fair point. That's fair. I agree. I agree with that for sure.
And this race can be won or lost in the pits if you're, up at the top.
Okay, I'll buy. I'm a buy on Byron. What about Chris Buescher? So we got Elliott, Reddick, Suarez, and Byron so far.
I don't mind Buescher.
I don't think it's going to be. We're not going to have to do much to put a half unit on him at a great price. We can go half unit, and if we want to add on more during the race, we can. If he's there. Yeah, Y2J. Everybody that I bet, I'm tying to Pacheco KO half unit and then Pacheco and Blanchfield. Yeah. Unless they're like 30 or 40 to 1 or 25 to 1 by themselves. Then I'll probably just do the Pacheco KO. But anybody in the teens, I'm gonna do them both.
I really think this comes down to qualifying and track position.
Well, we know that Reddick's going to qualify well. We know that Suarez and McDowell are probably going to qualify well, right?
Like, Well's not good enough. Like, I need like top 6.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the ball. I put my crystal ball down here. I mean, come on, man. I need top 6. I need Christy Turlington to give me a blowjob.
All right, Byron, Busher, Reddick, Elliott,
Suarez and Suarez.
Suarez. Those are my 5.
So you're going to pass on KB and Bell and see what they do after qualifying and figure out if you have to get on them.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to do those. So we're leaving Mikey Mick out too. So, all right, so I'm going to do those 5 with you, which I agree on. And I'm going to bet Marty. Because I just have a fucking feeling. All right, now we can go and get prices. Boy, we got to write the names down that we are passing on. Larson, Bush, L.
I think I would bet Larson before Truex.
Any.
Me personally.
Oh, Coop. It's a tough call. It's such a tough call, man. I should say this, too, to the people that are watching. If you have not been along for the ride and you're not crushing it and up all these units, like, you might want to take it a little easier. Don't bet absolutely everything that we're betting, because I don't want you to get killed. But we have so many units to play with, and this has been working for us this year. So, but bet accordingly, bet size, stay within your bankroll, keep all that in mind while you're doing this. All right, let's get these prices. All right, so signed. What do you have on Elliott? Oh, you can't even do it at bet 365. Never mind. Doesn't even matter. All right, so this is going to be the best number. 557. Let me bet that. Pacheco, KO, and Elliott for a knick-knack.
How much time we got left?
There's a fight that has to happen right now before.
It still hasn't happened?
No, they're in the cage right now.
All right, I got to go to the bathroom.
Go ahead, you're good. You got time. Sorry, guys. I know this is tedious, and most of the time, Coop and I do this after the show and just let you know what we're on, but it's kind of a time crunch. But we will go through all the markets as soon as we get these in, because I'm gonna have a ton of action this weekend. A ton. All right, so the numbers are basically 560 for a half unit with Elliott and 10-1 for a half unit with Elliott. That gives us about 8-1 on him. Tyler Reddick. What the fuck? All right. Tyler Reddick is going to give us 15-1. And 850. Oh no, that's wrong. That was the wrong number. Tyler Reddick is going to be 1290. And I was looking at qualifying. 1290 and 2230. 1290 and 2230. Let me get that in. All right. Suarez going to give us 1650 and 2840. Now, I'm betting Pacheco to win by submission as a hedge, basically, on my action tonight. I hope it loses so we actually get to the NASCAR weekend. But I'm going to protect myself, and I suggest that you throw some money on that also and just hope it goes down. Because if it ends up being sub, then we're not really hurt by it, and we'll readjust and do it tomorrow with the USC. Or a NASCAR matchup also, which opens the door. All right. Got that in. Byron is going to be 3260 and 5540. All right, so what I'm going to do with Byron is I'm going to bet a half unit and a quarter unit. So it's going to be a half unit with him and Pacheco, and then a quarter unit with him, Pacheco, and Blanchfield. At 3260 and 5540. And I will throw these up on the website. Fight over. Jesus Christ. Coop better get his shit together. Buescher 20-1. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to bet a half unit and then a quarter unit on Chris Buescher at 51-1 and 30-1. 29.70. Coop, that fight ended in the first round, so get it in.
I'm already done.
This guy. All right, so that was 0.75. That was 0.75. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm about 4 units invested. And what is her submission prop right now? What's the best available sign on her to win by sub? Because I'm going to bet that straight. Coop, that I would bet that straight for a little bit. Plus 250 on DK. I mean, you literally only have to bet about a unit and a half, maybe less to break even there. Now, guys, you guys could bet quarter units and only make these half. You don't have to go the full. The price on Marty was $11.40. And $19.85. That will be for a unit. I'll bet that for a unit.
Just to win by submission?
Yeah, just to win by sub. I would just basically cover the investment if you want it to go down. If it doesn't, you break even and we start over.
All right.
All right. So you got 5 guys. I bet 6 guys. And if Kyle Larson looks like a beast and we got a fucking full send on him, that's what we'll do. These will all be up on the website. All right, Coop. Let's start talking about props. I know that you and I don't really we don't ever bet top threes, but man, road courses kind of lend themselves to it, don't you think? The same guys are usually there a lot. Suarez, McDowell, Reddick. I mean, some of these top 3 prices aren't bad.
How many are you willing to bet, man? I mean, that's the question. To win 1 or 2 bets. Because the likelihood that if you bet them all, you're not going to get all 3 of them.
Hold on. Yeah, I agree with that. FanDuel has plus 310 on that submission prop for anybody. I'm going to bet that for basically a unit and a quarter. Gets me about even. All right, we're good. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think if you're going to take a top 3 shot, I think you take like 1 and I think you can get more invested in the top 5 and the top 10 market, obviously, with what you and I normally do. But I mean, I'm not against betting a top 3 this week on a guy that we think's going to be there at a solid price.
I mean, like, how many times is this Pacheco chick, sub somebody?
Okay, so she has 8 wins by submission, right? But her default reaction is to knock somebody out. That's why she's knocked this girl out twice in the first round. The only way she's going to try to knock her out on the feet, and the only way that she's going to sub her is if it goes down to the ground. And the club and sub, I guess, is always in play where she knocks her down and then submits her. But her default reaction is to go for the kill and go for the knockout. And that's what I think's going to happen here. But I do think when you're talking about somebody that's got 8 submission wins, you have to at least back yourself up. And we're talking about a girl that's minus 1,500. That's minus 600 to finish inside the distance. So it makes it very hard to like, you can't bet both. Sign said she's going to KO her. Yeah, I'm with you, Signed. I'm with you. The other girl will stand and throw, right? And that's another thing, Coop. The other girl is a striker. She's not going to look to get the fight to the ground. She's going to stand and bang, and it's not going to end well for her. Like, if you told me that we were going to take one top 3, right? I don't mind plus 450 on Busher, 3-1 on Suarez, 6-1. Okay. Will Byron is 6-1 to finish in the top 3. Wow. Denny's 6-1 to finish in the top 3. Reddick, I think you could, man. I know he finished 4th last week, but in this next gen car, you could basically set your watch to this kid finishing in the top 3, and he's 2-1. I mean, none of these prices blow me away, though. Unless you were going to take the shot on Byron, maybe Gibbs, or Busher. Based on price, those would be the 3 guys. I think 3-1's a little cheap on Suarez. I don't think that 2-1's cheap on Reddick, but it's not great either. Elliott's even money. Kyle Larson is plus 130. I mean, you would have to really, really, you'd have to tie like a couple pieces to make that bet worth betting.
Yeah, I can't bet any top 3 or 5s, man. There's just too many options.
I see 3 numbers, like based on odds that I don't mind, but I don't really disagree. Like Byron is 6-1. I don't think that's terrible. Busher is
but again, you're betting a number, man. You're not betting like I think everything's got to go perfect for Byron, and if it does, I'll just be happy if he wins.
Yeah. Top 5 market. I'm interested in multiple people: Reddick, Suarez, McDowell, Elliott, Busher, probably would be where I'd be. Elliott's minus 160, obviously, so you can't bet that. You're going to have to tie it to something. But, I mean, plus 120 for Reddick is fair. Plus 170 for Suarez, fair. 2-1 on McDowell, I think, is fair based on what we saw last week. Busher's 250. I think you can get 3 out of the 5 home and make money. Maybe even more. I mean, we had one race where we hit 4 out of 5 top 5s.
Right. I mean, like, are you going to bet them straight?
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. Not Elliott, but I mean, Tyler Reddick at plus 120 to crack the top 5 on a road course is a fair price. Suarez and what he's done the last 2 years, plus 170 is a fair price. I mean, I don't think you got to get. I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to. You can if you want to.
Because like the only way I could do it is if I'm tying it with something else, a one leg or.
I mean, yeah. You could do that too, of course. I mean, that's what we did last week, but I think that I think that the prices are at least fair, you know. Other than Elliott, I mean, you can't bet him at minus 160.
No,
or Larson either. But I mean, yeah, but those would be the drivers. Like if we're telling people to target top 5s this week, right? Whether they want to bet them straight or they want to tie something to them, I think the same guys that we just bet to win the race are kind of the guys that you would target in the top 5 market. Reddick, Suarez, Elliott, McDowell, even though we didn't bet him, Busher. Wouldn't shock me if KB got there.
Right. I mean, there's just too many. I'm not messing with the top 3s and 5s.
Top 10s. Again, Elliott, Reddick, Suarez, McDowell, Busher, Byron.
Right. See, I already took 4. I took Suarez, McDowell, Gibbs, and Byron. Suarez and McDowell, you know, I mean, for every reason we've talked about, I think they're going to be there. And I think Gibbs and Byron are going to get in there. And I like their numbers when you parlayed it. And I would rather take my shot on top 10, even though the number's less.
Right.
And try to hit all 4 and think that I can hit all 4.
Right.
Versus trying to hit 1 or 2 on a top 5 or top 3.
Yeah, I don't really disagree. The last 6 or 7 weeks, we've had multiple weeks where we've hit 3 or 4 top 10s. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to bet these numbers, but you're going to have to probably tie it to something. I mean, other than Byron or Gibbs, they're even money. I mean, if somebody wanted to take a shot, I don't hate it. But the guys that I'm going to target is Elliott, Reddick, Suarez, McDowell, Busher. Probably.
See, I mean, I took it and I got 250 to 340 on those 4.
At plus money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. But those I'll put up on our the website, whatever I end up doing tonight, I'll figure it out. But yeah, those will be the guys. The same guys we've been talking about are the same guys that I will be targeting in the top 10 market.
All right.
For sure.
Are you going to take a shot at one of your Penske boys? I'm sure they got good numbers.
I'll tell you, if I was, see, like, I think Ryan Blaney's been the fastest Penske car this year. But I kind of think like Logano is the guy that's got a better chance to crack the top 10. Like if you were going to back a Penske guy to crack the top 10, who would it be? Would it be Hendrick just because he's the best road course driver?
Yes.
I'm not going to bet any of them to hit the top 10. But I don't know. I kind of think Logano could sneak in there. It wouldn't shock me.
Is this fight over yet?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Oh, you mean our fight?
Yeah, the fight. The chick fight.
No. The fight while you were in the bathroom, the guy ended the guy in the first round. So they're the next fight. They'll be walking.
That was 20 minutes ago.
Holy Christ. What are you are you in a hurry to go somewhere? Where are you going? All right, that's the top 10 market. I'll have my plays up tonight before I go to bed. Winning manufacturer, Coop. Listen, man. Chevy has owned this track, right? That number on Toyota is appealing because I think that there might be 5 Toyotas that could win the race if they're hot off the trailer. There could be 5 Toyotas that could win this race if they come correct.
You know
what?
There's 6 Chevys that could come off the trailer.
Yeah, I don't
win the race.
But one of them is priced at minus 120, and the other one's priced at plus 210.
Right, but again, if you look at the numbers, okay, Toyota, man, maybe Sonoma was an anomaly.
I mean,
if you take out Sonoma, all right, in what world are you backing Toyota?
Well, I mean, Denny wasn't only like Marty won Sonoma.
You take out Sonoma.
Yeah, but Denny could have won. Like Denny's been in the running for multiple road courses, hasn't he?
If you go back to last year and so far this year.
Oh, well, yeah, last year was a disaster.
In this car, and you take out Sonoma, in what world are they winning a race?
I mean,
they showed up one time.
Right. But Coop, you do realize that we bet 2 Toyotas to win last weekend. So like you could have said that last weekend.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I said, maybe Sonoma's an anomaly.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in winning manufacturer. I'm not gonna bet it. But I don't hate the number. Plus 210 is not a bad number, Coop. I mean, it's not.
I think if you want to back Toyota, you can find a better number than 210 and back them some other way.
Yeah, probably. Matchups. So many matchups. There are so many. Wow, Tyler Reddick is a coin flip against Marty on a road course. How about that?
It depends upon what book you look at.
Yeah, right now I only have Bet365. Ostradamus says Pacheco looks like Johnny.
So I want this right here is going to tell you what you really think of Penske. Would you take Ryan Blaney minus 105 over Ross Chastain?
Oh, I think it's debatable. Ross Chastain is a. I mean, I haven't even noticed the guy's raced in the last 2 months. I think you can make an argument for it. Yeah.
But you're
Ryan
the
Blank. I
Penske
mean,
guy.
what?
You're the Penske guy.
No,
Are you
I'm
going
not.
to pick?
I'm not the Penske guy. Okay. No. I'm gonna put my money on guys that I think are gonna be there, can win the race. That's who I'm gonna back in matchups. Allmendinger minus 110 against KB. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Harvick Logano, no.
Like the
Bowman.
thing with the matchups, like they're so hard to figure out. And then after practice and qualifying, the numbers are going to be so lopsided.
Yeah. Suarez is the dog to Chris Bell.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Reddick plus 110 heads up against Larson. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, Larson could show up and be the nuts and have a top 3 car if, the last couple years are any indication on this track. But I don't mind that. I don't mind Tyler Reddick on a road course at plus 110 heads up against anybody. At DK, that's the best matchup they have.
Yeah, there weren't any matchups. Same with groups, man. Like I can't pick two drivers. Like they're so tight. They're so close. There's nothing there that stands out and says, "Oh, I think these two drivers are definitely better than these other two drivers."
Right.
Or this one driver's better than the other driver if you're looking at them head to head.
I think Mike McDowell's minus 150 against KB.
See, I couldn't do that, man. I think KB is going to be stronger.
Yeah.
Just too tight.
I just want to go through all of them to see if there's anything. Wow. Well, Elliott is minus 180 against Kyle Larson. Holy shit. Marty's minus 130 against Reddick. Man, some of these lines surprise me.
I mean, when you're strictly looking at road courses, how can Marty be minus 130?
I don't know. Like, that doesn't make you, like, both those.
Like, I think it should be closer to, like, minus 105, minus 115.
But Reddick should be the favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even debatable. Right? But
Is this fight over yet?
No, Coop. Jesus Christ, they're introducing them.
God.
But you know what? It kind of makes me think that the book has the same thought process as I do this week. And that's
that Marty's going to be better.
That Marty could really be good. Yeah. Yeah.
Could.
Buescher against Denny. If the price was right, I would bet Buescher, but not at that price.
But how do you bet against Denny? Like it's scary. You don't know which one's going to show up.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you think you can count on Buescher to show up? I kind of feel like I can.
Yeah. It's Denny. Like how?
Right. But you're not backing the guy that you're not sure about. You're backing the guy that you're pretty sure is going to show up.
Yeah, I know, but if Denny shows up, he can smoke Buescher.
Fair. That's betting.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's so many of those type of matchups and groups.
Oh, did you see the boys I know, like, I don't know, it was like a month ago where we hit that Nemechek Truex 30-1 at Caesar. Yeah, did you see it this week? They got Gibbs and Larson.
Yeah.
That could hit at 25-1. That could definitely hit. Can't bet much money on it, but
let's go back to top fives because there was one that I thought might interest you. That was similar to that.
Okay.
Chase and Michael McDowell both finished top five.
Oh, like they both have to?
Yeah.
What's the price?
What do you want it to be?
$6-1.
And it was 4.5.
Yeah.
But I think it could happen.
So I'm pretty sure, Coop, that they just said the fight ended in 14 seconds. 2 punches, cash it. So there you go.
And you told me I had to bet a submission.
So just like that, boy.
Took her 14 seconds.
You got a better number. How about you shut your mouth and say thank you? How about that? Let's start there. All right?
I'm just looking at the money I lost.
How did it
end?
Hedge. Did it really end in 14? Holy fuck. The fight to end in 60 seconds was like 3-1. I think the boys bet it in the chat. Good call.
Why weren't we betting that? How long did the first two fights last?
Just about 5 minutes and 3 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I didn't.
So this chick just said, I ain't got no chance. I'm done.
Correct. Yeah. That's called collecting a check. That's what that is. But like normally fight to end in the first 60 seconds is like 20-1. So 10-1. It was 4-1 or 3-1, whatever it was. Congratulations, boys. Good hit. All right, so we're good. We got solid prices. There you go. Group bets.
Nice job, Kegger.
Okay, cool. Nice job. Okay. All right, so group bets. I didn't see anything either.
Did you bet it straight or just in the parlays?
Did I bet what?
That fight.
I made 2 bets besides what we just did. I bet her to win in round 1 at -160, and I bet her in a parlay with a fight to start round 2 tomorrow. So it was good.
Because I bet it straight.
You what?
I bet it straight.
You weighed the -220?
No. without anything, just straight. I did the KO, TKO, and then by the submission.
No, you didn't. It was -450.
Lisa Pacheco by KO, TKO -175.
Oh, okay. So you bet that straight too?
Yeah, just that's what I'm asking you.
You
bet it straight?
I basically bet her to win it round
1.
Right. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I basically did what you did. Yeah. What you sent me a message this week about like winner of stage 1 or winner of stage 2 wins the race, right?
Yeah. It's plus 300.
Man, that's so low.
Is it really though?
Well, I mean, it depends on who is like. It wouldn't be if it's Elliott. Like if Elliott wins stage 2, 3-1's going to be a bargain, right?
But hold on. Isn't it going to be a bargain for just about anybody?
I don't know. Do you remember what Michael McDowell was at the end of stage 2? I don't.
Oh, he was well. He was like well into the like even money by stage 2.
Oh, was he really? I didn't pay attention because we were already on him. I don't know. You could be right. With no stage breaks, you could be right.
Like you can't bet stage 2. You can only bet stage 1. Because stage 2, it could be anybody. And it could be a driver that's just out there, trying to collect stage points.
Right.
Like, it was Denny and Kozlowski last week.
Then it's not worth betting because you're going to get a better number on whoever wins stage 1 probably at that point in the race, unless it's Chase Elliott, right?
Based on, but like, I think if it's Larson,
okay.
If it's Marty,
well, why? Because you're saying that means chances are they qualified very well, they got out front, and they're probably going to
like there's all right. So at the end of stage 1, all right, if Larson, Elliott, Reddick, Marty, maybe Suarez, maybe McDowell. There's 7 drivers right there.
Okay.
I can see all of them being 300 if they're in the lead at the end of stage 1.
I mean, I guess that makes sense only because that means that they probably closed. I mean, like if Marty's in row 1 or starts 3rd, he's probably going to be 4 or 5. Larson's going to be 4 or 5. Elliott's going to be 2 or 3. So
right,
yeah,
you got to remember it's not 15; it's 20 laps.
Yeah, you could be right.
So you're farther into the race.
What is it? 90 total?
Yeah, 90, I think. Yeah,
90. Yeah. You could be right. You could be right.
Like I don't mind it.
But you know what though? I don't think it's going to be worse. Do you think it's going to be worse than 3-1?
It definitely has a shot to be worse than if it's Elliott or Larson. Yeah.
Yeah, Elliott or Larson.
Isn't
that absurd? Think about what Reddick, you just said. Isn't that absurd?
If Reddick's up there, yeah. If Marty's up there, yeah. Maybe not Suarez, maybe not McDowell.
It's so crazy that the guy that's leading is going to be 3-1, like heading towards the end of stage 1. Fucking hell. It's amazing how much money we make in the sport because they try really hard for us to not.
Because listen, this whole time, if you really look at it, these numbers are going to go down quick. Because look at what happened last week. They're going to be looking at that. Also,
what do you mean? What do you mean when you say that?
There was no passing. There was no yellows.
Oh, right.
Right. If we see that in the first 15 laps, 20 laps, they're going to, we're back to next week. We're back to last week. Let's just.
Right. That's true.
So I definitely think, it'll be interesting. We need to make sure that we know and look at it and see what it ended up being.
Do you think that we have to bet Hendrick to win the race and tie it to something to get like 4-1?
Well, I think if you do that, you got to bet,
Gibbs
too. That gives
Yeah.
you 8 drivers.
I'm with you. And their numbers not that bad, so it's not going to be hard to get a price on that. But
I mean, like I hate to go back to this, but like look at it. Like we knew at the beginning of Sonoma who had the car, right?
yes,
We knew for the most part within the first 15 to 20 laps who had the car
yes,
at Indy.
for sure.
Like you knew last week Ty Gibbs had the car in Xfinity. Like you got to get on that driver. Like I said last week, like who's showing who has that car, and like the books, they're gonna drop it quick because like they dropped McDowell last week from like 1,400, 1,200 to like 550, just like that. Like there was no 800, 900. It went from boom, boom.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. These road courses are quick, and you got to be quick because it's not any guaranteed cautions like it is like in the mile and a half, the short tracks, so on. Like you can't blame them.
I do think that we should bet Hendrick and Gibbs though. Could it be Suarez or Marty or McDowell or Busher? Yeah, it could. But if that happens, we're gonna cash a great ticket anyway, right? But I mean, like the protection of having Byron, Larson, Elliott, Denny, Marty, Bell. I think it's worth it because I don't think it's going to be that hard for us to get the numbers up where we can maybe get a 5 or 6-1 on Hendrick and an 8 or 9-1 on Gibbs. At that point,
but the thing is, all right, what are you going to tie it to? I mean, like, how deep are we in Williams Wang already, and Emily Blanchfield? Like, we can't keep betting those two.
well, I mean, there's 12 there's 12 fights tomorrow, Coop.
Yeah, I know, man, but I need something safe. Like, I don't need that.
Well. Wait a minute. What we have not spoke about is Xfinity props, which I think that we have to consider because I think that Gibbs and Bowman are going to be very. Are you in the same place? Gibbs and Bowman are going to be very hard to beat tomorrow.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Custer and Allgaier, you gotta, keep an eye on them.
I don't disagree, but I do think going into the race, we should think that they should be head and shoulders above the rest of the cars based on what we saw from Gibbs last week and based on Bowman's car last year.
I agree.
So now we do have Gibbs over Busch at 8-1 going into tomorrow, which is a nice little kicker. Hopefully we can get that home. But let's take a look at Xfinity props. Let's see if we see anything because I think that's the other piece that we don't have the truck race, but maybe we can.
Well, I think the obvious one,
top 5
really, is Alex Bowman.
Top 5.
I think he was 120.
Yeah, that's not a bad piece. I'm with you there. I think that's a good one. Let me pull up Xfinity.
Because hold on,
why is KB plus 225, Goop? That car hasn't even been great.
The car hasn't, but did you not hear me tell you earlier?
Yeah, I know his track history. I know he's great.
Phenomenal.
I know, man.
Phenomenal.
I know.
Like, can you tie? You can't tie two.
No, it's got to be one.
You can't tie two Xfinity plays, right?
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm 99.9% positive because I think they view it as correlated. I'll try right now. Actually, yeah, but Adam, go to BR because they're not telling me that I can't do it. Yeah, actually, Coop, we could do it at BR. Like I could take two matchups and tie it together and get plus 240. I just picked a random two matchups.
So you can't do it at DraftKings.
Did you open that BR account yet?
It's a bad subject right now.
This guy. See, like, but let me see if I could take two matchups and then tie it to something.
Because what you should do is you should take Bowman's top 5 and Gibbs over Busch.
I can't. I already have $750 on that. I don't want to get invested anymore in that matchup. There's got to be something else. Yeah, you can, by the way. You can take two Xfinity and tie it to a cup. Wow, I didn't know that, man. This whole time I thought you couldn't do that.
So
that opens up a lot.
So all right, hold on. What's the starting price on that?
On what?
What I just said. Gibbs over Busch, Bowman top 5.
Hold on. It is Gibbs over Busch. Oh, the problem is they don't have top 5s. I think only Bet365 and Caesars. Yeah, it has to be a top 3.
Well, that changes the story.
Correct. I mean, gun to my head, I think he finishes in the top 3. I think he might win the race.
That sucks, man.
Our guy Ryan actually sent me a message today that says, I'm betting Bowman at 6-1. He's coming to hang out tomorrow all day. And I was like, we're already on him. We already bet him. We got him in parlays. We're with you. But he's very high on Alex Bowman too.
All right. So you can take one of them. What's another play? We got to find another play. Do you like Bowman top 5?
I like Bowman top 5, yeah.
All right, so we got to find another play. From something else.
Right. But what do you think about do you think we should bet Alex Bowman top 5 by itself, like as a single play?
At minus 120 now.
Oh, I thought you said plus 120.
No, minus 120.
Oh, okay.
It's minus 160 everywhere else. I mean, if you're that strong on them, this top three is plus 140.
That you can parlay. Like that's parlayable. That gets you a starting price of 350. Gibbs to beat Busch and Bowman top 3 is plus 350.
Okay. Now go to the top Toyotas for NASCAR.
Okay.
What does that give you? Because you don't have to bet Bubba this week. You only have to bet 5 of them.
Oh, your starting point is 13-1 on Marty.
So you could bet all 5 of them and win some money.
God,
as long as
if Gibbs could get there, Coop, it's 37-1. If we actually get by Saturday.
Right.
Denny, 30-1. Bell,
Right.
20. Yeah. I didn't think about top Toyota.
Because there's not a world that Bubba's going to be the top Toyota.
Yeah, I don't disagree. What about you think it's really hard for McDowell or Buescher to not be the top Ford?
I mean, on paper, no. But, if the yellow flags fall the wrong place, sure.
Like if you took them two, with the same thing, you're talking about 14-1 on McDowell and 19-1 on Buescher to be the top Ford. Fuck me, man. That's pretty good, Coop.
Yeah, I think I would rather take my shot on those two versus the 5 Toyotas.
I'm with you. It's way less of an investment.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, you're really gonna make me fuck. Kyle Busch is gonna bury me tomorrow if fucking Gibbs doesn't beat him. I think I kind of think. I mean, the one thing that bugs me out a little bit is you said to me, Alex Bowman is not very good at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, hold on.
Coop's trying to bury me.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his cup results, they haven't been stellar. I think 14th place is his best finish, but this is Xfinity.
Yeah.
The other Xfinity play that I don't mind.
All right.
It's a little riskier.
Oh boy.
All right. But it's going to give you some good number. Sam Meyer, top 5.
But we can't parlay that. Bet 365. Like if we're gonna parlay it, it's got to be with something in the UFC. They don't let you parlay NASCAR.
What's his top 3 number on Rivers? 500
for Mayor.
Yeah,
350.
That's not good.
Allgaier
400 on.
What do you think about Allgaier? Like, let's say that Gibbs and Bowman are in the top 3. Do you think that Busch is going to be that third car?
I mean, I think it could be Busch, Custer, Allgaier, Meyer,
Creed.
Shit. Until he creeds.
Yeah. I mean, that guy's really good on road courses until he creeds. Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's too risky because there's 6 or 7 drivers who could be third place.
Yeah, I'm with you. Will they let you bet? The price isn't great, but like Gibbs over Bush and Gibbs to hit the top 3 is still like plus 205. That
you can bet Gibbs twice?
Yeah. Oh, no. Sorry, the selected outcomes cannot be combined. Scratch that.
You can bet the same driver twice.
Yeah, I guess that's correlated in some type of way. Are there any other matchups that you see in Xfinity that you like?
I mean, I'm really limited on Xfinity.
What do you expect out of Nemechek and Hill?
I think he showed that he overachieved prior in the road courses because his first couple road courses this year he had done pretty well, and then the last one he had a lot of problems. So I don't have a lot of confidence.
Austin Hill's usually pretty solid.
Yeah, but he wasn't the last race.
No, that's true. I mean, speaking of Sheldon creeding, what do you think about him in a matchup with Sam Mayer?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. They're both 115. Like, I don't mind that.
Like, do you like that more than Bowman in the top 3? Does that feel safer?
Yeah, I like that more than, well, Sam Meyer's just Sam Meyer too. Like, he's not far off from being a Sheldon Creed. Like he puts himself in some bad spots too.
Yeah.
But I mean, based upon the results this year,
yeah,
like Parker Kligerman minus 110 over Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith's been a huge disappointment on the road courses.
Parker's been pretty strong too.
Right. But the thing is, like, if it really comes down to speed, like, Sammy could do good. And Sammy finished third here last year. He was a top Xfinity driver.
I mean, that speed would definitely lend itself to him for sure. That kind of makes me think, like, despite him not looking great, like maybe if this is the road course where he shows up.
Could be.
So,
like, if I was going to take a shot at that, like, I would go to Group C on Caesars, and I would take Parker Kligerman at plus 210 over Sammy Smith, Josh Berry, and Ross Chastain versus paying the minus 120 if I was going to take a shot on Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Because you're getting $300, you're getting $3.
Right.
You got to beat 3 drivers versus 1, but Berry and Chastain aren't exactly,
Right.
Chastain's just not got the car.
Does Caesars let you do that? Parlay? No.
I already tried it.
So do you think that it's worth us taking the shot, throwing Alex Bowman top 3 in there to try to catch the top Ford prices on Buescher and McDowell?
Well, there ain't no we about it. It's you. Because one of us don't have Bet Rivers.
Right.
Just being fully transparent.
If you could bet it, would you?
It was Bowman top 3, Gibbs over Busch.
And then you're looking at like 14-1 and 19-1 on McDowell and Buescher to be the top Ford.
I mean, you're asking for 3 things to happen in a sport with variance.
That's called Wednesday for you and I, Coop. I mean that it's what we do. We're good at it too.
But the one that worries me is Bowman because you don't have much wiggle room. It's got to be a top 3.
I agree. If it was a top 5, bro, I would hit the button right now. I would hit the button.
I mean, you would probably still hit the button because the number's not going to be that much worse. You said it was, 13 and 19?
Yeah.
You would probably get,
let me ask you
16?
Let me ask you this. If you could do that and you did it, do you think backing yourself up and betting Alex Bowman to hit the top 5 is the kind of the way to go? Where like as long as he finishes in the top 5, you're not going to lose anything on the top 3 bet.
So let's think about this. Let's think about that. What keeps him out of the top 3? An issue with the car.
An issue with the car, and my gut says Kyle Busch and Justin Allgaier.
Right. I was going to lean. I wasn't going to say Allgaier, but I was going to say Kyle Busch shows up, and in that case, you might be dead on the other side too.
True. Which would hurt because I really want to cash that ticket that we bet last night or Thursday night.
Right. So, to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't bet it because you've already got riding on it. Like you would just double dip and hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's true because if Gibbs does beat Busch, but everything else loses, it's taken away from that plus 780 that you're going to cash. I guess that's true. But like in theory, us getting the number up on Chris Buescher and McDowell to be the top Ford is something I think worth pursuing.
Right. Like I think doing it with Bowman is fine because that's not in your other, parlay.
Right. What do you think about Allgaier top 5?
Caesars let you parlay, but they don't have the Gibbs versus Busch matchup. Yeah, they do.
They do let you parlay?
No, they have the Busch versus Gibbs matchup. Gibbs is minus 110. Kyle Busch is minus 120.
Right. He's saying that they let you parlay.
Right. He says they let you parlay, but they don't have the matchup. They do have the matchup.
And they don't let you parlay.
Right. Because I took Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, I just tried it.
All right. And then I take Alex Bowman, top 5.
It doesn't even give you a parlay option.
It's right. It doesn't give you a parlay. So I'm not quite sure what Nolan's talking about.
Right. Justin Allgaier, top 5. Kind of as its own bet. What do you think about that?
What's your number? I got 120 on Caesars.
Plus 150 at Bet365.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him finishing 6th or 7th. I mean, I think it's going to be a tight match between Busch, Allgaier, Custer, Meyer, maybe Sammy Smith, maybe Nemechek. You throw in Parker Kligerman, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed.
Yeah.
Riley Herbst has been pretty good on road courses.
True.
Like, you know, it really drops off after the, you know, top 10 or 12 drivers in Xfinity. But it's really close, you know, in that middle piece.
So basically, to recap everything, you guys know the outrights that we're on. You guys know the top 10s that we're targeting. You already know what we bet in Xfinity because it's been on the site.
What about your boy like Ian McGregor? You can't put anything on him. You haven't parlayed him. You just afraid.
Who?
Ian Terry, whatever his guy's name is.
Oh,
Gary
Ian
Terry.
Gary? Yeah. No, I basically tailed Clint on the Ian Gary inside the distance. I don't like it enough to parlay it. I bet it as a straight bet. I tailed Clint. Clint's been on fire, so out of respect, I bet it. And I'm not high on Neil Magny. He's at the end of his career, and he doesn't have much left. So I do think that Ian Gary probably finishes him. I'm looking forward to fading him at some point, but this isn't the spot. But I don't like it enough to tie it to anything personally. I don't. So
what about that other chick, Natalia Sylvia, whatever?
Oh, Natalia Silva,
the one that's got the longer odds.
Yeah, she should win. I think she's going to win, and I think Andrea Lee is very tough. 6 of her 7 losses have been by decision.
Right, so but what's your number if you get Bowman top?
I can't do top
5. Go to Bet365.
Okay.
Do Bowman top 5.
Right.
Sylvia chick. Just money line. What are you starting at? Like 150?
Hang on, Coop. Natalia Silva, where you at, sweetheart? About plus, like around plus 220-ish.
All right, now tie it to McDowell and Busch are top 4.
Gets you like somewhere between like 9.5, 10 to like 13, 14-ish.
You just not like sold on Sylvia for something.
Oh no, I love her. I think she's gonna win for sure. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad, Coop. I don't hate that. What's Sign saying? Oh no, he wasn't saying anything. Corey said, I have Silva in so many parlays this week. It's starting to make me uncomfortable. I actually haven't put her in a ton of parlays yet. I'm going to put her in a couple probably. But yeah, I think she's going to win, Coop. I think that this is the toughest fight that she's had, but I think that she's got a chance to be special in a couple of years. So I'm not against putting her in parlays.
So, like, why don't you like that? Because you saw the 13 and the 19 earlier on the other parlay that you can't do. Well,
no,
you can do, but you shouldn't.
No, I think that the price is fair. I think 9-10 to 1 to 13 to 1. I think that's fair. I'm not against it. We just need Bowman to get in the top 5.
But like, other than an issue, like that car is just so good.
Meyer, tell me, because I know sometimes the prices are different. Tell me what you have on Bowman top 5, Silva money line, Natalia Silva money line, and then Michael McDowell and Chris Buescher top forwards.
At what book?
Bet365. Sometimes his numbers are different from mine. I talk to him all the time when I'm going to bet. Yeah. I talk anytime I'm going to bet something at Bet365. I send him a message to ask him the price.
I guess you don't care what my numbers are.
Oh, that's right. You're in a different state. I forgot about that. I forgot you're in Virginia, bro. My bad.
What mine did you think I was in Iowa?
No. I for a minute I thought you lived in my state.
And what made you think that?
I don't know, Coop. I'm not a normal person, bro. Having look what I do for my life. What rational human being puts themselves through this? No, nobody. Adam Meyer said, her and Gary for my retirement. Oh, my God. Are you deep?
So I can't make that parlay.
You can't make that parlay?
I cannot.
Oh, he can't. Wait a minute. Did I bet the right thing? Hold on. Let me try this again. I don't think I could do that either. What book did I use?
Now you're getting me excited for nothing, man.
Oh, I used Rivers. You can't do it at Bet365. It'll let you it won't let you parlay 2 NASCAR things together.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I mean, you can do it.
No, you can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
Not at Bet365.
Right. Not at 365. Right.
Oh, at Caesars?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now at Caesars.
What do you got?
Oh, hold on. I'm almost done.
I got Bowman already in my queue. Bowman.
It's horrible.
Of course it is.
Actually, yeah, it's horrible.
I don't even know why I have money in this book.
472 on McDowell. $694 on Buescher.
Yeah, you can't bet that. It's not worth it. What are the prices that they have on those 2 guys to be top Ford?
170 and 275.
Oh, that's why.
Right.
Holy Christ. You know what though? That's probably right. That's why I think they're the sharpest book, man. when it comes to NASCAR because I would line that closer to them than what Bet365 has. I mean, think about the Fords, how bad they've been. Like, what would the third Ford even be that like would be on your radar? Briscoe, if it all broke right?
Hendrick and Briscoe.
Right. I mean, they shouldn't be that. I don't think they should be that high, McDowell and Busher.
I can't do it at 365 either. McDowell's 160. I mean, Fred.
I can't. Fred. Superbook doesn't let you parlay anything, which is unfortunate. FanDuel, same thing. Worst thing ever that they won't let you parlay NASCAR. I don't know. I'm gonna find a way on it though. I'm betting that for sure. That's getting written down. I want a piece of them both. Everything that I parlayed, like all my NASCAR outright shit, we got half of it home, obviously, but my final piece is going to be next week. So I'm opened up to basically parlay whatever I'd like on this card, but I already have a ton of action.
Like Blanchfield's not fighting no pushover,
right? Well, she's only minus 140, so the line would suggest no. But
she's fighting Tatiana or something.
Yeah, she's fighting Santos. I think the line. I think she should be like minus 275 personally. Santos has no takedown defense. She's going to get taken down, and she's going to get either choked out or her arm broken off, probably inside of 10 minutes. In my opinion, I think she's the future champion of the division. I already bet her to be the champion at the end of next year. I couldn't be higher on Erin Blanchfield.
I saw your buddy Jack Del Rio signed to fight somebody.
Jack Della Maddalena?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Della, he was disappointing. Jack Della. All right, so I'm going to find a way on McDowell and Busher, top Ford. Look for that on the spreadsheet. Top 10s will be on the spreadsheet, which I have to figure out what I'm going to do with. And then you guys know the outrights that we're on. Elliott, Reddick, Suarez, Byron, Busher, and I'm on Marty. So I got 6, Coop's got 5. I guess after practice and qualifying, Coop,
so
we'll reevaluate.
What do you think that winner of stage 1 wins the race goes down to after tomorrow?
I don't think it'll move. Why would it move? I don't think it has any impact. Do you?
You don't think it has any impact if Larson or Elliott or
I don't
hit the pole?
I don't. I think that number. I think it's baked in.
All right, it could be.
I don't know. You bet that more than I do. I don't have a ton.
I've bet it a lot, man, since they took the numbers where they're at.
Yeah. I like honestly, the only time I've ever bet that has been tailing you. I don't really look at that much. But I don't know.
Nice that race that I bet at that I was able to tell you to.
I don't.
It's always going to go back to Joey Logano.
I know. I know. You know what though? It's a great story though. We'll be talking about that 5 years from now. I don't know. You could be right, but I would think that it's kind of baked in. Like they know the cars that the good cars that should be up front. I think they kind of price that into the number. But I don't know. You could be right. You could be right. Do you remember what it closed at last week?
I do not, because the number was so bad to begin with.
Oh, Jack Dell is fighting Kevin Holland. Oof. That's unfortunate for Jack. Yeah, all right. I feel good about it. Think we're gonna make money this weekend. Tomorrow we will be live at 3:30 and we'll be live until 1:00 in the morning. So come back, hang out. We got NASCAR, Xfinity to start the day. UFC starts at 6. Ryan's going to come and hang out from Win the Race. No Gav, obviously. He's in Boston at the event. But Yeg will be there. Johnny will be there. Meyer will probably be there. The normal crew. Coop, if you're around, you're always welcome to come and hang out, my friend.
I'm going to be around.
Oh, yeah.
You'll that already.
Yeah, you got a lot of shit going on this weekend. Sunday, I'll be live at we'll be live at 2:30. I think the race is at 2:30. I'm pretty sure. If it's not, it's at 3. We'll be live for that. And that's it, boys. It's been a good run. It was a great week last week. I'm pumped up. I'm going to be pumped up this weekend. We're going to make money. And honestly, Coop, there's nothing else left to say. For Coop, I'm Keg. We'll see you guys back here next weekend. We're out. Later.